Hey guys, it's Melanie here. Here's your breaking news coming out of Iraq today. There was a new article that I want to share with you, and then I'll go into what I shared this morning, and then we'll get into the summary of everybody else like I normally do. So let's get right into it. I'm glad you're here. This is a new article. Iraq's circulating currency declines month on month. Now, this is the paper stuff. This is the paper currency that everybody holds versus the banks, right? Take your paper into the bank, you get an account. That's what that means. So let's get into the article. It says Baghdad's net currency in circulation reached 92.185 trillion dinars, around 70.4 billion last September, down from about 71 billion in August, the Central Bank of Iraq said on Tuesday. The data showed total currency issued at around 76.1 billion, with about 5.72 billion held by banks. Currency issued, CBI noted, refers to cash printed for circulation, including paper and metal denominations outside of its vaults. So that includes metal denominations, which, is that fills? I didn't think they had the fills. Maybe that means the fills are going to be released. What do you think? That could mean the fills are about to be released, which means they have a revalue. That's what I take from that. What do you get? The next article that I covered this morning was Basra crude's drop with global downturn. It's saying Iraq's Basra crude edged lower on Tuesday, tracking a global decline in oil markets. They're saying the global market has declined, but then on the other side of the coin, they had an article that said oil prices fall following the Black Sea port restart. Now, that is a Russian export port. It said loadings resumed at Russia's Novorossiysk export hub after a 2-day suspension at the Black Sea port that had been hit by an attack, if you know who they're in war with. So both benchmarks rose, which is the Brent crude price and the West Texas Intermediate crude. They were at $64.20 a barrel and $59.91 a barrel. If you watch Landman, you'll get an idea of those prices. Both benchmarks rose more than 2% on Friday to end the week with a modest gain after exports were suspended. And then when they resumed, it's saying that, early weakness was due to the resumption of loadings, but was short-lived. Energy specialist. So guys, they are just providing as much intel. It says U.S. President Donald Trump said on Sunday that Republicans are working on legislation that will impose sanctions on any country doing business with Russia, adding that Iran could be added to that list. OPEC this month agreed to increase December output targets by 137,000 barrels per day, the same for as October and November. It says, as A&G reported, the oil market was expected to remain in a large surplus through 2026, but it warned of rising supply risks from drone attacks on Russia's energy facilities and flagged Iran's seizure of a tanker in the Gulf of Oman after it transited the Strait of Hormuz, an important route for about 20 million barrels per day of global oil fields. The choppiness in crude oil prices is likely to remain as the geopolitical risk stays elevated against the expectations of more global crude supplies, said Dennis Kissler, Senior Vice President of Trading at BOK Financial. Latest positioning data shows that speculators increased net long-term positions in ICE Brent by 12,636 lots over the past, reporting the week to 164,867 lots as of Tuesday. ING said this was driven predominantly by short covering and suggested that participants were reluctant to short amid supply risks related to sanctions uncertainty. So guys, it all depends. Again, everything is connected. And when you join my lives, I connected even more. My live stream this morning was pretty good. You might want to check into that. I get insights every day. And then gold, of course, dropped straight after diminished rate cut. They're thinking that the rates will not be cut in December like some people hope, but nobody really knows what Powell is going to do. It's definitely the U.S. is having an effect on the global everything. I'm getting distracted. My husband's right there. He's almost done with his project, so I got to get this done so we can go see the horses. Now we go to a summary of everybody else. Let me know if you like this new format. I'm trying to do it quicker for you, so you save even more time. So this is Militia Man. This is as of today. Iraq filed an official application in November to join the Bank for International Settlements. The BIS is the central bank of central banks. There's 63 members, including the United States, the Fed, and the ECB, that's Europe's central bank. Filing the application means every reserve number, banking rule, and anti-money laundering system has already been audited and approved by the Bank of International Settlement staff. We've been talking about that. The audits are way done, in my opinion. There were 3 different sets of auditors in Iraq. That's heavy. Observer status is the next step. Full membership follows. Frank 26, Omar said the Oliver and Wyman report back in August says in 2026, Iraq will put the implementation phase on the ground and currency will grow from 2026 to 2028. That sounds like a managed float in 2026. That we will see it soon. Frank said, in the documentation from Oliver and Wyman, Donald Trump's friends laid out step by step what's next of the monetary reform. We will assume the next thing is to release the new exchange rate and the lower notes. Yes, that's exactly right. Well, when? According to an Oliver and Wyman's August report, it says it very clearly. 2026 is what he's referring to. Mark Z. There was a question, I guess, articles, government advisor amendment to the trade agency law supports Iraq's ascension to the WTO, and al-Sudani supports Iraq's attention to the WTO with a new law. They are trying to wrap up everything so they can ascend to the World Trade Organization. Sudani is in Erbil right now working with the HCL issues. Question, I wonder if Iraq needs to be in the WTO before they get RV. Mark Z's response, this is his opinion, not mine. Mark Z's opinion. We know they have completed all the requirements. We have read multiple documents and articles on that. I think it's all optics and timing, and they are holding it to go at the same time as the value changes. Trust the journey. It is optics. I agree with Mark. I've been saying that for a while based on that Forex article that I've shown you guys. Mountain Goat. Article, Sudani courts Trump. I will visit Washington with 50 Iraqi billionaires. Now, this was one of the breaking things that I thought was worthy to highlight in this summary. Tell me if you don't think that is. Mr. al-Sudani told the Times he would bring 50 Iraqi billionaires to Washington next month for an Invest in America conference to show harmony with President Trump's course. Wow, this is exactly the relationship we need to see between Iraq and the U.S. Choo-choo. The RV is on the train and it's rolling down the tracks. Can you hear it whistling? Guys, I thought that was fun. And guys, what do you think about this? So, I don't know. I think we're really close. I'm trying to think if I want to talk about anything else. I think we're done. Everybody's talking about the WTO organization. That's the breaking news. But I thought the part about Sudani bringing the 50 billionaires was the icing on the cake. Because, guys, this is coordinated political timing. According to the article I refer to, it's an article from Forex that was supposedly the rate was given to them by the CBI. Okay, sorry, that's where the sun is right now. I'm just glad the sun is out. I live in Maine, so if you live in a cold area. So this was dated May 27th, but it hasn't changed. I have a friend who's a retired colonel who was a Forex trader. If this had changed, he would have communicated with me, and I'm up to date on my emails, so check your emails. I'm up to date. So I'm going to be taking the rest of the afternoon off because my husband's done with the painting project. He knew I was on that class. We're going to go see the horses and I'm going to relax the rest of the evening. What are you going to do? No nighttime live tonight, but if you missed last night's, you can go watch last night's. I always put best for viewer, but last night's live stream, the margaritas, was really fun and it had a miracle. I'm getting a new puppy. I shared the story. The breeder got on. Oh, so fun. And we're going to name him Thor. So what do you think? What do you think about the name? Watch the live stream, Margaret, and come back here and comment down below. I really appreciate you guys. We're so close. What do you think? On a scale of 1 to 10, how close do you think we are? 10 means we're right there on the edge. 1 means, oh, it's never going to happen. I respect everybody's opinion. I'm just glad you're here. Please comment down below. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you tomorrow morning for our 9 a.m. live stream. Coffee, conversation, faith, building, and all the breaking news out of Iraq, all the details. Bye.